Hello, hello. Welcome to the Sipping with Sonia talk show. I am your host, Coach Sonia Renee, aka Auntie. And I just want to say thank you so much for joining me and coming to my page and visiting with me today. Also, if you haven't had a chance to, before we get started, please hit that like, subscribe, and share button. I appreciate it. So today we're going to talk about how I found out I was adopted and shifted my focus. This is going to be a very quick video. Of course, there will be more details that I can share, and I will share in another video coming up after this one. But I just wanted to get this information out to you really quickly just to get started. And the reason why I'm sharing this information is because I've come across so many people when I've been sharing my story ever since I found out that I was adopted. I've been getting so many people in DMs of people letting me know that they're going through the same thing. How can they heal? They're trying to find their family. There's so many questions. So I am on here to just give you a little bit of how I found out I was adopted and how I started the process of healing. And it's just been an amazing journey so far. So when I turned 49 years old, should I say 49 years young, I found out that I was adopted. My mom passed away when I was 28 years old. So I was not able to communicate with her to find out like what's going on. I am 53 years young now. And so it's been a beautiful journey over the past couple of years. So yes, I had a lot of questions, and then I met my birth family, and to my surprise, my birth mother was not ready to get to know me. She wasn't really open to or ready to deal with her past. And I understood that because I didn't know what traumas was coming up for her or what it would have cost her to have to revisit those moments in time. Because I'm a mother of 3, and I could not have done what she did to give up one of my children. So I don't know what that was like for her. So I chose to have compassion on her, to give her the time that she needed to really deal with the reality that the firstborn child that she gave up for adoption is right here saying, hey, I want to get to know you and my family, and I want you to get to know us. And I actually wasn't angry. I wasn't angry at her. I wasn't frustrated or anything like that. I was grateful that whatever her reasons were, that once I was adopted, I was grateful that I did end up with a good mom. I ended up in a good family. And I could have been left in the system, in the situation. My life could have went a whole different way. I was raised with good morals and good character and integrity and financial principles and education and culture. I was well-rounded. So I really had a great mom, and a great family of community. My father was there, to show support when he could. And so, at the end of the day, I really just wanted to just know the truth. Right? How many of you say, you know what, I just want to know the truth. Give me the tea, right? What was really going on back then, okay? So that's where I was, and then also, everything, her not being ready to get to know me at the time, everything was okay at first because I really was like, okay, it's all right, it's cool, because I was getting to know my family. I have 2 sisters, by my birth mother, by my birth father. I'm the only child. He never had any other children. I know, right? Daddy's girl. So I was like, wow, I have 2 sisters, and oh my gosh, we look just alike. We look like triplets, okay? We all look like our birth mother. And so, I just realized that, after she wasn't ready to get to know me, I was okay. Like I said, I thought it was, it was getting to know the rest of my family and my cousins and getting them to meet my children and really us spending quality time together was a huge distraction from the reality of that I'm being abandoned and rejected by the same person twice. I know, that was a pill, right? So what happened was, once I actually started to dive into this and realize that once the dust settled, I had to sit with that by myself. I had to sit in that. I had to do some of the shadow work. I had to heal from that, so that I could not continue to feel like it was my fault that she gave me up for adoption. Because it was never my fault. I'm the reason why she doesn't want I'm not the reason why she doesn't want a relationship with me. Okay. It was never about me. It was always about her and the decisions that she made. So before I go any further on giving you some tips on what I did on how I healed from The abandonment trauma that I didn't even know I had, let's unpack that really quickly. So I didn't know that I had abandonment trauma because I'm not needy. I'm not clingy. I don't need to be up under somebody 24/7. I'm not clingy to a person. Like, I can't survive unless you're right here. Like, I like my solitude. I like my private time. I'm a loner. I have friends, I have family, and I go places and do things with them. But I really enjoy being by myself and doing the things that I really love to do by myself. But I also didn't know that some other behaviors that I exemplified were abandonment behaviors, such as I'm an overgiver in relationships. Even when the person has shown me that they don't deserve it, I sometimes still give because I just have a heart to want to give. And as a healer, that's one of the things that I love to do. I love to see people heal. I love to see them get better. I love to help out. But sometimes I was doing it with no boundaries, right? But also subconsciously is to say, I want you to see my worth. I want you to see my value. And if you see how valuable I am, then you'll want to stay. You'll want to stick around. But what was going on was that my loyalty to that person was not the same loyalty that they had to me. I was giving more and they were taking. And so over time, I started to realize, like, wait a minute, this is not a healthy exchange. It's not an equal give and take. So I need to cut the cord. Another trait that I had of abandonment trauma that I didn't even know. Again, I didn't even know I had it, because sometimes these things lie so dormant in you, and they're so deep embedded in you, they're so deep rooted in you, you don't even know that they're there until you're triggered. I was not triggered with any abandonment issues or any abandonment wounds until I found out that I was adopted. Because the very first time that I was abandoned, I was a baby. I was given up by my birth mother. Now, consciously, I didn't know what was going on because I was a baby, but subconsciously I did, because if you know, like I know, we've been here before. We are our ancestors. We reincarnate. So my energy knew what was going on. There was a disconnect because she had me for 30 days before she gave me up for adoption. So now here it is after 30 days. Now I'm being handed over to somebody else at an adoption agency, who then hands me over to my birth mother, right? Not my birth mother, my adopted mother. And so, listen, guys, I really, really did not even know that some of the patterns that I had exemplified by the way I allow people to treat me sometimes, even though I can clap back, sometimes I didn't see it. Sometimes I didn't see the manipulation. I didn't see, the games that people were playing. And so I started to pay more attention to that. And so what I did was I started to shift my focus. So let me talk about that. As I said, I started to shift my focus, because as a young adult, becoming a full-grown adult, grown, I realized that my honesty and loyalty and my character, it disrupts the dishonesty and disloyalty in the character of others. I am real. I'm straightforward. I'm very direct person. I'm what you see is what you get. Okay. I am very observant, and I listen more than I talk. And a lot of times I'm listening, and just because, that's why you have 2 ears and 1 mouth. It's for more listening and less talking. And so just because I didn't see things doesn't mean I didn't speak on it, doesn't mean I didn't see it. Because I peep a lot of game. I do. As an adult now, because you got to understand, I was much younger back then. So there's a lot of things I didn't see, didn't know. But now today, of course, 53 years young, and, over the past, I wouldn't say the past 10 years of my life, I really, really been paying attention to people's behaviors and patterns and how they communicate with me, and listening to what they're saying, but also listen to what they're not saying, the story behind the story, listening for that. So when I tell you that I really, really, I live in my truth now, and I have healthy boundaries, and it's not in a bad way, just to say that, you get the raw honesty of me. And I think that's very important. Some people can't handle that though. Because I'd rather give you the ugly truth than a beautiful lie. You know what I'm saying? How many of you out there can relate? I'd rather give you the ugly truth than a beautiful lie, because the truth will set you free. And once people realize that they can't play games with me, they can't manipulate me anymore, then guess what? They disappear. They ghost you. And how many of you have had those moments where it's like, why did they leave? Why did they disappear? What did I say? What did I do? What was it about me that they didn't want to stick around? It was never you. It was never about you. It was about them, because how a person treats you says everything about them and nothing about you. People make choices and decisions based upon what they want, most times in the moment. And sometimes you may reflect to them a version of them that they're not, an unhealed version of them that they're not ready to deal with yet. Catch that. And if a person is not ready to deal with their trauma or their issues, and you trigger that in them, they'll disappear from you. They'll ghost you, and they'll go deal with somebody else or be around other people who co-sign their mess. It's just a reality, right? So even though, at first, I was feeling like what's wrong with me when it came to my birth mother, I had to realize it was not about me. It was not about me. It was about her and her having to revisit those old wounds that she, again, lying dormant, she had never dealt with before. So now she has to deal with those things. And so some of the other things that I had to do, because there has a season of where you learn lessons and blessings. And I learned to understand the difference, because everybody has and everything has an expiration date. And when you take time to learn, like, hey, why is this person here? I started to learn, like, why is this person here? Why is this person in my life? Why are they around? What lessons am I supposed to learn? Is this person supposed to be teaching me something short term? Or is this person going to be a part of my soul tribe and be here long term? I started to pay attention to that, because I've had friends that I had friends with since I was 13 years old, but we're not in each other's lives actively like we used to be. We may still check in every now and then on the phone or through social media, a happy birthday or something like that. But in the everyday life of what's going on with us, we don't communicate. So I couldn't tell you what happened with them yesterday, and they couldn't tell you what happened with me yesterday. But there are people that I've met a few years ago, maybe 10, maybe 15 years ago, that I'm closer to, and we do keep that honest communication going where we're active and daily in each other's lives, okay? So I learned to have healthy boundaries. I learned to have an attitude of gratitude for the lessons that I've learned. And my sis memory recall will remind me, okay, somebody treated you this way before. You didn't like it. You didn't like the way it made you feel. So you're going to have to set a healthy boundary on that person, that you have to minimalize your time with them, your communication with them while you're learning your lesson, so that it does not deter you from the lesson and you get so focused on the behavior that you miss out. You so focused on the messenger that you miss out on the message, right? If you all can hear me, you all know what I'm talking about. Please comment down below in the chat. Let me know your story. Let me know your situation. If you have a situation similar to mine where you found out you were adopted, you don't know what to do, you don't know where to go, I would love to help you with the process. I am a life and relationship coach. I do help women heal from abandonment trauma, break soul ties, and take their life back after divorce. I am also the author of this book called Abandonment Is Not Your Fault, because I learned that how a person treats you says everything about them and nothing about you. And it's not your job to take on the accountability of other people's behaviors, because you'll run yourself into the ground trying to do that. So life is all about growing and evolving. And I thought I was losing people, and really, I was just learning who I am. I was. And I realized that you never lose. You just learned. So that's just a little bit of information about what me and what I did when I found out that I was adopted, and how I healed was shifting my focus. Because a lot of times we put the focus on us as the victim. This is what happened to me. They did this to me. She said that. He did this. But really, I shifted the focus to, okay, here's a reality. Work with what I can work with. Work with the willing of the people who want to get to know me, the people who want to get to spend quality time with me, those family. And then forgive. I forgave her. I forgave her. Because we fail to realize a lot of times people come in your life for a reason. Everybody has their specific purpose in your life. And I realized that her job was just to bring me into the world. Her job was not to raise me. The mom I had, that's who raised me. And she did a heck of a job. I think so anyway. So we have to realize that just sometimes the family dynamic that we've been fed It's not always the case, because the mom that I had was the mom that I was supposed to have. And I'm grateful that the woman who birthed me, went through with the pregnancy, allowed me to live and exist so that I could be here and living in my purpose, living in my truth, enjoying my family, 3 children and a beautiful grandson, and living my best life. So please subscribe to my channel if you want to hear more stories like this. I am going to share some more videos on different tips of how I heal from my abandonment trauma, but I'm also going to share with you how I found out about my adoption. Yes, I found out I was adopted, but the whole situation about how I found out and the stuff that people was telling me, oh my gosh, it's so juicy. But then also the paperwork that I did to find out who my birth parents were, getting their information, all of that information I will share with you as well. And also, if you feel you need some specific coaching, please do not hesitate to reach out to me or click the link in my bio. Or you can just purchase my book. You can go right on Amazon, click the link and purchase my book, and you can read my story, and you'll get a chance to read all about my story of abandonment trauma that I didn't even know I had. And hopefully my story will inspire you with your story too. All right. Thank you so much.